Works. All right, we're live here at the Austrian Grand Prix. It's a little bit wet on track. We have dynamic weather on this weekend. It's Tier 2 tackling the Red Bull Ring, as it's commonly known. We have a very, very tight battle at the top of the championship between a few drivers. LAS Chris Can, or who's actually changed his name to LAS Chris 85, is leading atop the board with 136 points. And then there's three drivers within 16 points of that, being Cruz, 9K, ISRL Vito, and who's the other guy up in there? I think it is Tommy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it is Tommy. So yeah, lots of drivers. Very, very close together. Lorenzo Scarfo already getting disqualified from qualifying. Not sure what he did there. Probably practiced his starts at the end of pit lane and then got hit with a blocking penalty.
Yeah, I didn't.
Coxie is messaging me 1 second. All right, I think we've done this a couple times already. I'm going to go share this on Facebook. Why don't you run us through the need to know on this Austrian Grand Prix circuit?
Turn 1's an interesting one. You don't want to go into the runoff area. There is pavement, but there's a lot of rumble strips that will hinder how quickly you can get back on the throttle for the long straightaway. Pretty early braking zone for turns, I think it's 3, going down into the second long straightaway. I guess you could call it the back straightaway. And then mainly sector 2 is probably the most technical part of the circuit, and it's not even that much. You don't need a crazy amount of downforce, but then again, you have to find the right balance, and this is an interesting track to find a balance for. And then the last 2 corners, I think, in my opinion, easy to get wrong. Again, going too wide, getting yourself a penalty. Yeah, it's especially now in the wet, it's a lot more difficult. Scar Logan on pole position with a 1:14.2 so far. Looking at I'm looking at Sofian right now in the Red Bull at the home track, setting his first lap time. It's a 1:14.4. Goes up into second. And a new name who I haven't seen before in the point.
Bryce, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Right now.
So he's a friend of Sofian, and I think just judging from our chat history, he seems to be known by a couple drivers here. I think he is fairly quick. We're testing him out to see if he's going to get a spot in Season 2 and where to place him. So we're going to see what he can do today. He goes 5th fastest with a 1:14.8 in that Racing Point machine. It's very, very wet on track right now. I don't know if it's going to be wet in the circuit. I'm going to try to get some of that intel here. Let's ask our drivers in the chat here. And if it is wet, this is going to turn into a very, very interesting race, because we all know weather, especially dynamic weather like this, where it can change in an instant, always spices up every race that we've seen, at least this season. When it gets too much, it rains too much, then it's not fun, because every race is unpredictable. But some good rain here and there will certainly change things up a little bit. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit distracted right now. We have a driver who wasn't able to select a seat, and he's messaging me on the Discord. Unfortunately, we can't restart because we set guidelines on what constitutes a restartable session, and not getting your seat isn't one of them, unfortunately. So he's not going to be able to take part in this event because it's not due to lag or unsportsmanlike behavior, or consoles crashing. Yeah, so unfortunately, Coxie not going to take part in this session. I think hopefully he'll be able to slide in here tomorrow for the Tier 3 race, but we're a little bit too far in right now. We can't throw it all away. There's 10 minutes left in qualifying here. We're going to hop on board. Is there anybody on a hot lap right now?
He is just now coming through the final couple of corners. It's going to be his first lap time, and remember you saying is he the leader in the standings?
Chris is he's at 136 points. He's got a 8-point lead on second place right now. So it seems like a fair lead. It's not a lot. If he finishes second and whoever's behind him finishes first, they're going to be basically neck and neck, especially if there's a fastest lap that comes in play here. Yeah, he's at the top. He started strong. He's been consistent all season. We haven't really seen him get into too many incidents. It always seems like he's finishing his races near the front, and that's what got him all the way up in those points totals, because I don't think he has too many Tier 2 wins, but he's definitely able to rack in those points. We're going to hop on board with, I think Sophion is coming around to the lap. The track does seem like it's drying up a little bit, so we should be seeing those lap times get a little bit faster as the intermediates feel a bit more in their element here, so long as the track doesn't switch into dry tire mode. Where you got to put the softs on or else you're going to be losing a lot of time, because then this could change drastically. Yeah, I'm hopping on board right now with Sophion. It doesn't look like it's raining anymore. So with 9 minutes left in this qualifying, we could be seeing a dry track by the end of this. Yeah, this could be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting. How many people want to go for dry tires, and then shoot up the standings and have to start on that tire, or do you want to give yourself an option? Don't, if you know that maybe you're not going to get up there towards the front, maybe play it strategical. Don't go back out. Give yourself a free choice of tires.
Well, basically, if you qualify on a hard, not a hard, but a slick tire compound in a wet qualifying, I'm pretty sure you are going to be forced to start on that compound regardless. If you don't set a lap, though, if you only go on the intermediates, you get free tire choice no matter where you qualify, because they're not going to make you start a dry race on intermediate tires. So you could, like you said, get a bit more of an advantage by maybe sacrificing a position, not going out late on the dries, and getting that extra lap or two of fresh tire.
Look at this now. We got Scar Logan out for another hot lap, but he's got a Toro Rosso right in front of him. Not really getting out of the way.
Yeah, who is that Toro Rosso? I think that's Ikovacic. No, that's Yuri, who is also on a hot lap, I think. So that's probably not why he's not getting out of the way. He doesn't want to sacrifice his own hot lap. He goes a little bit deep there, gets on the grass, and that's going to let Scar Logan by. So two drivers racing already here in qualifying, both of them just getting on a hot lap at the wrong time. And it seems like Yuri's going to end up with the short end of the stick on that one. He goes wide a couple times, is going to lose some tenths. See that car wiggling around on the wet pavement there. Bryce gets disqualified from the session for blocking the pit lane, going a little bit too slow. He was in P2. Codemasters really got to figure that thing out. I've seen quite a few people. You try to do a practice stop in the pit lane, a practice start, and it's the timer is so quick to trigger that you stay stationary for probably a second or two. And you get disqualified from the session right away. So I'm not sure what's happening here. No, so Alex Ja is DNF'd. He went wide and hit the wall. Catastrophic, I'm not sure why, got disqualified. But I think it's just someone else just going really, really slow in the pit lane and then getting hit with disqualification.
Very strange.
Sorry, I'll let you take over here for a second. You can tell me who to spectate.
Let's hop on board with Chris Can now. He's on his second hot lap. He is about 4/10 behind Scar Logan through his provisional lap. Got another yellow flag. Someone, final sector, I guess, just letting the Mercedes through, or now going into the pit lane. Chris Can now making his way through the drying track now. It's definitely stopped raining. He's going to abort this lap, head into the pits. Let's see here. We've got Cruz, actually he was right behind him. He will set this lap time. Try not to go wide, get his little bit of the curb there. Now for the front straightaway, what's his time going to look like? A 1:17.5, not good enough. He sits 13th. Let's go now to ISRL Tommy. The next one, it looks like, to set another lap time. Currently sits 9.75 behind Scar Logan, 9/10 behind Scar Logan. Gonna look to improve. He's set personal bests through the first 2 sectors. And it looks like Scar Logan, is he thinking about the slick tires? Vito actually takes pole position with a 1:14.1. But something that caught me off guard a little bit is Scar Logan. Is he thinking about slick? And there goes another one, Chris Can. Maybe that's why Chris Can came into the pits. And now Sophion. Is it time for those slick tires? Is the track dry enough? Riding with Chilmo heading into the pits, it looks dry. So they may be onto something now. Scar Logan's exiting the pits. He's going to go onto the slick tires, and he will be the first one to do so. Jair now thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I was saying that track is going to dry out by the end, and it's looking like it has dried significantly. I don't see any wet spots on there.
Yeah, no. I think this is when we'll start to see all the red pop up next to their names, as opposed to all the green intermediate tires. And there goes Yuri. He's going to do the same thing. But now you got to get out there. Now it is a short track, but you want to give yourself some time to go for a second run. Not jump back into the pits, but do 2 straight hot laps if needed. Tommy looking at the medium tire, perhaps. Maybe do an extended first stint. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, a little bit of a wiggle there from Scar Logan. Luckily, just an out lap.
All right. Sorry about that. A little bit of a situation with one of the drivers who couldn't get into the session. We do apologize for that. Should be able to resume the broadcast as normal here right at the end of qualifying.
Scar Logan actually ducked back into the pits after that outlap on the soft tires. He maybe think different of it.
Yeah, that's interesting because there's still a lot of guys out there. Obviously, the track is going to be a bit greasy. It is going to be slow. It's not going to be optimal for those slick tires, but there is not...
The deck is going to try it.
Yeah, there's not much they can do other than try it. We're going to hop on board with... Is there someone on the soft on my hot lap right now? Deck is just started. Somehow doesn't disqualify his lap there. That was very close. Went very, very deep in turn 1. He's going to be running all the way up. This is such a long climb down this straightaway all the way up into turn 2 or 3. I think it's 3.
It's 3.
Yeah, because they count that little kink as a turn for some reason, but hey. Yeah, so far, we're going to pop up this telemetry here. We're going to see how much he's gaining on his previous lap time. I expect somewhere in the seconds.
Personal best first sector.
Yeah, so he's on very fast lap. There is a racing point behind him on an out lap. That's a purple second sector as well. So the deck is probably going to be setting a lap time at the top there in the 110s more than likely. This track has just absolutely dried up and gone extremely quick in the dying stages of quality. Every driver needs to be out here on the track setting a lap time right now. The deck is going to come across the line. Goes first fastest to the 108. So that's 6 seconds faster than anybody else on on track right now. We're going to get this lap data up for the other drivers. Chilmo on the soft tires as well.
His lap's been invalidated.
Yeah, so invalidating his lap early. He should have enough time.
Jer and looked like another Toro Rosso again. Nearly sent Jer off the track. Luckily was able to get out of the way before anything like that happened. We're going to see now what Jer could produce. Obviously a very fast driver. We're going to see how his time will compare to the decks. Nearly a second and a half faster.
So, yeah, he goes way faster. He's going to park it down the side. Watch out. Don't want to be parked in a dangerous location. I think he's just going to let that Red Bull go by. Not sure what Jer's doing here. Maybe trying to get himself disqualified so he can start at the back. Who knows? There you go, yeah. So I think that's what he was doing, just trying to start at the back there. He was getting a feel for that car on those soft tires. And so that moves the deck up into pole. Joseph Covey is second here. We're at the end of qualifying. Kovacic goes third fastest. Vito takes the lead. And then Chris Can immediately tops with the 106.7. We have Tommy, I believe, on a hot lap here. He's on the medium tires. We're going to see how those measure up compared. Yeah, Scar Logan right behind them. They're both going to cross the line here. Tommy goes fourth. Scar Logan goes second fastest on the medium tires. Extremely good lap for him. He's only 0.2 off of Chris Can's pace, and it just shows how quickly this track is heating up. We have Yuri, I think, crossing the line now, and that's Sophion in the Red Bull getting across the line here. He's going to go first fastest, the 106.2. This track just keeps heating up. Every driver crossing just going faster and faster. Chilmo is going to cross sixth fastest, so he improves his time just a little bit. Kovacic is going to dive into the pits, and then I believe Joseph Covey and Hartman, who've already completed their lap. They're just having the AI drive around here. So
he's going for another one.
Is he?
Yeah, it looks like he got across the line in time to do two. Now he will dive into the pits.
He's going to dive into the pits here, so probably not wanting to use more of those tires than he has to. I think he is starting the race on that set. And so that's the end of qualifying here. So Fionn and Chris on our front row, Red Bull and Williams. And then we have Scar Logan, Vito, the deck, and Chilmo in our top six. Both Ferraris qualifying very, very well today in Austria. Top of any two teammates right now, as everyone else has someone either down the field or no teammate at all. So the end of qualifying, we have an idea of how this field is going to shake up. What are your thoughts going into this race here?
Well, I want to see, or at least hear from some of the racers, what the weather is looking like for the rest of the race. If it's going to rain more than halfway through the race, I think Scar Logan and Tommy are in the best position possible. But then again, you never know. With dynamic weather, the weather just plays so much of a factor that it's almost impossible to give an estimate before the race even starts.
And we don't have any intel on this weather situation for the race. No one replied to my inquiry in the chat. I have no idea how this weather is going to shake up. It could be bright and sunny, or you could have downpour for the next however many laps. We're going to find out as soon as we load in here in just a second or two. Like you said, it all depends on the weather. We have Dynamic on this weekend. One of the 4 races this year, the next one being Silverstone, our finale. And look at that. The sun is shining. It's bright blue skies in the background. It looks like we're going to get a dry start. It could change quickly here in Austria, especially you're in the mountains. You never know what can happen, but it looks like we're going to have at least a very dry start to the race. So those guys that qualified on those soft tire compounds are going to be starting on the used ones, but I think they cover most of the top 10, so that shouldn't put too many people at a disadvantage. Yeah, personally, I'm going to go with Scar Logan as a very good candidate early on here. Scar Logan, he's on the medium tires, our top runner on that harder tire compound, which means he's going to be able to go further into the race, overcut all those other cars, and get a ton of time of clean air, provided he gets through those opening corners early and clean. So I could see him making a move. He's been on fire lately, always running near the front. So he's going to be my candidate for driver who's most likely to win this race here in the opening stages. Formation lap is underway. Everyone's going to be getting their tires warmed up, getting that car ready, getting a feel of the track. The conditions are way different than qualifying, so everything's going to feel a little bit more new and obviously a little bit grippier as it's not pouring. So
got a big array of different compounds of tires. Excuse me, as well. Back half of the top 10 back half of the bottom 10 looking like they want to do mediums, and the top half want to do softs even. So, free choice of tires, looking to go fast right away, then try and extend a stint.
Yeah, so it looks like UK Coxie was able to get a seat regardless.
Sophian's way ahead of the rest of the pack.
He's going to have very soft tires. I think that's Vito as well, because it looks like there was a couple of incidents of contact here. Chris, Scar Logan, both sitting on the grid right now. They're going to have cold tires going into turn 1. That shouldn't be any problem to them because they are at the front, so it's not like they have a ton of braking to do like earlier than expected. They don't have to slow down for the field. They can basically take the corner where they normally would. But they're still going to have cold tires, so we're going to have to be on the lookout for probably a slower start, a slower getaway from two of these guys. As everyone's just lining up here at the end of the formation lap. We're about to get underway in Austria. We're going to get our fake lights here. Just going to wait a second. And I think they should be lighting up right now. We're getting underway here for the ISRL Tier 2 Austrian Grand Prix, and they're off. It's a good start from the Red Bull. There's some slow cars in the back. Chris going very, very slow. He's going to squeeze Scar Logan to the outside, and that's going to let Vito take 2 positions on the inside of turn 1 here. That's a Haas going very, very wide in the back. Chris Ken with a bad start. He's going to lose 1 position early. That's going to let Sophian escape. We have a big battle here. 2 cars going side by side, the Haas and the Racing Point. The Mercedes of Tommy almost gets into the back of Joseph Covey there, but it looks like almost everyone getting through the start phase cleanly. No big accidents so far. There was a lot of chaos in the back there right off the start, as someone just did not move off the start finish line, but it looks like everything has slowed down a little bit. And is it just me? I'm barely hearing the cars on those panning shots, so I'm gonna go quickly check at my audio settings here. So sorry about the screen blocking quickly, and that should be a lot better.
Well, there's as soon as you went away, Cruz
yeah,
into the gravel trap. Luckily, still in the race, no safety car.
Yeah, a little bit of damage there on that front wing. And the deck is going to take a position off of Scar Logan now. So the deck getting right away into 4th. Scar Logan dropping to 5th. So he's going to lose a position off the start. Right off the first lap here, we're going to look at our position chains. JR gaining 8 positions. Chilmo losing 11 off of this start. So there's some guys just getting very, very good, very, very quick. And then we have a couple guys gaining 7 places. Catastrophic and UK Coxie already getting themselves near those point positions early. Yeah, so far, apart from Cruz, we have 4 cars pitting. That's Bryce Chilmo, Alex Ja, and Cruz. and probably just a little bit of wing damage on those guys, getting probably tangled up in that early race chaos, but it looks like everyone is getting away okay. We have the two Renaults getting close to one another as JR is catching up to Scar Logan here. We're going on to lap 3. DRS is going to be enabled, and we have a lot of people who are prime to make an overtake work here. Tommy right over the back of Spoon in that McLaren machine. He's going to get a lot closer here. He's going to look towards the outside of turn 1, brakes much later, and he's going to squeeze Spoon through turn 1, takes all the space he wants, and he doesn't give any to Spoon, and he's going to get DRS on this second straight, but Spoon looks like he has a little bit more straight line speed, and he's going to go for the move down the inside. No, but actually he's going to think better of it, and Catastrophic is going to take advantage of that and go around the outside of Spoon into turn 3. That was a magnificent move from Catastrophic. And that's a Toro Rosso getting loose in the back. That's Yuri Skoka. It looks like he got away with that with no damage, but we're going to go right back to the front here. They're still fighting. Hartman is now all over the back of Spoon. Spoon under attack here in the opening laps, and he's on the harder tire compound. He's going to last much later into this race than the cars around him. Oh, sorry about that. Which probably explains the pace difference here, but he doesn't want to lose too many positions, because then you're stuck in traffic and you end up not being able to get the full pace of those tires. Now on this DRS straight, Catastrophic is going to open the flap. Spoon is going to open the flap. Hartman is going to open the flap. UK Coxie is going to dive in the pits. He must have picked up some damage somewhere. Driving down here on the straight, I don't think anyone's going to be close enough to make a move. Jer actually is getting a lot closer to Scar Logan. We're gonna have to look for him, probably taking a peek down the inside here. Scar Logan's going to try to go for the block, but not going to be able to do it as Jared goes very deep into that corner. And they're going to go for the switchback. Scar Logan not ready to give up. He's fighting Jared. They're wheel-to-wheel banging sides there. Side pod to side pod, and Jared's going to dive into this turn ahead of his teammate. Great racing from the Renaults here. They don't want to race too much, though, because the deck is right behind them, ready to pick up the scraps. The Haas driver, actually, he was in 4th at one point, so something must have happened. He dropped a couple spots. He's looking to take them back, though, as he's gunning down the back of those two Renault drivers. Jer now, he's gonna look at that right away. Sets a 1.3 second lead, but he's already 1.2 seconds behind Chris Can, getting far ahead of his teammate. So Jer looking strong early. These guys, nothing has changed in this group. Everyone's following each other rather closely, and we're going to open the tire strategy here. Can you tell me quickly how that's going to come and affect? Oh, actually, Tommy goes down the inside of Joseph. Was not expecting that move into turn 3, and he gets the position just like that. Hartman on Spoon, as well as Spoon gets a bad exit down this second straightaway, and they're going to be going side by side into turn 4. Spoon trying to force it around the outside. He's going to get on the grass, though. Hartman with the inside line, forcing Spoon just a little bit wide. Not sure if Spoon went wide on himself there, but by himself there. But looks like we have a rather split strategy here in this group. Yeah, how's this going to come and affect it?
Yeah, well, you know, again, you never know. It's just the amount of diversity among the strategies it's looking like so far. You got obviously Bryce and Alex, after getting a little bit of wing damage, hoping to possibly even go to the end. They've got the hard tires on, and then the field is split half and half. The soft to mediums, as we've got Jer now taking 3rd away from Chris Can.
Yeah, so Jer making moves really, really early on. He's already got himself into a top 3 from the back of the pack. This is why we told him not to qualify. It's why he got himself disqualified from qualifying, just so he could start at the back. Looks like that wasn't much. That wasn't very helpful. He's already in the podium position, 6 laps in. This has let Vito and Sophion put a bit of a gap in towards him, as Sophion leading the pack 1.4 seconds ahead of Vito, who's actually, he's got some pace this weekend. 2 of the championship contenders. Looking at the live stats right here, so Sophion's in 4th. That would bring him up to 145 points, which would be in first, but Vito would be getting, actually I think Vito, so Vito live championship standings, Vito's in first right now, so Fionn in second, Chris in third, and Cruz is going to be losing a lot of ground if everything stays the way it is. Hopefully there's a safety car later on. We have a yellow flag in sector 1. I believe that's a Haas of Catastrophic who got himself a little bit spun around here in turn 1. Bryce and Alex going on the hard tires. I didn't think we'd be seeing any of these today. Do you think those are going to last to the end?
I think there's a good chance of it. 29 laps. It sounds like a lot of laps. For this circuit,
35 laps old too.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're looking at 31 laps on those tires.
Yeah, I don't think it's definitely not the optimal strategy. The hard tires on this track are just awful. You want to stay away from them for sure.
Hard tires on most tracks don't tend to be the fastest. Gets a little bit of grass there, does Bryce. UK Coxey in the McLaren machine. He's got a lot of room ahead of him that he has to make up after that early pit stop, but he does have a slightly better tire strategy now. Our leaders, though, they're going to be starting to pit soon. In my tests here, my practice, it didn't seem like tires were going to be lasting much longer than 8 or 9 laps for the softs. The mediums have quite a bit of life in them, but we should be seeing some early pit stops here as Vito and JR probably try to undercut Fionn. JR getting very close to Vito already. I thought he was going to take him at least another lap or two to get up to this point, but it looks like they're going to need a safety car or something to, if JR gets ahead, just to catch up at this rate. He's just flying out there in that Renault machine. Yeah, very, very quick pace. We're going to have to stop him from reserving too much. He's going to be out here winning all the races. Yeah, I think in the back there, UK Coxey got loose a little bit. We did see some flags go up. He's down into 15th now, so lost that position to the Racing Point of Bryce. Spoon and Hartman have put in a bit of a gap to that pack behind them here, but they're still fighting.
Jared's going to look down the inside. He's going to
look down the inside there in turn 3. Vito is going to have a go at him again, though. I don't think he's going to have the pace to catch up. He does get DRS. He is going to be popping into overtake, but I don't think he has enough battery as we see that ERS recharging. Doesn't even try to make a move into turn 4, and I think that's it for Vito and his bid at second place. If I'm Vito, I honestly, I think I just take it as it is. He was going to pass you. It was a matter of when, not if, and you just keep your head down and keep pumping in those laps. Hope Fionn makes a mistake, because even though Jared's between you two,
that is 13 places gained by Jared in 9 laps.
Very, very quick start. Yeah, if Vito is able to undercut Fionn, he's still within reach here. So just because Jared's between them doesn't mean Vito can't leapfrog that Red Bull, who's still leading this race here. 10 laps in rather, at the Austrian Grand Prix. We're starting to see some penalties fly out here as drivers are accumulating the warnings as we're getting about a third into the race. And as mentioned earlier, I would not be surprised to see some of our leaders pit. We're getting very close in the back here between Scar and the Deck 91. The Deck's going to have DRS down this back straight. He's going to be looking down the inside. Is he going to be close enough? No, thinks better of it. He's on that softer tire compound, but those must be getting very, very old here. And just staying behind the Deck here in that dirtier would probably end up being a challenge. Scar Logan, though, he goes a little bit wide. The Deck not getting the best line through that corner, so he can't take advantage of that slip up by the driver ahead, and it looks like actually he's going to be a little bit further back this time around. So Scar Logan gaining some ground on the Haas. Tommy trying to catch up to the both of them. He's 6.1 seconds behind, leading his own little pack of cars here, but everyone looks like they're keeping things well distanced. Nobody within DRS range, and Catastrophic chasing down the Mercedes of Hartman for the last point position. So out of these guys that pitted very early, Chilmo went on the soft, so he's going for a 2-stop. One of the only drivers to go for the 2-stop here. UK Coxie, Cruz, and Yuri probably hoping those medium tires last to the end. I don't think they will, so they are probably looking at a 2-stop as well. Hartman, is he going to look down the inside of Catastrophic? He won't. And looks like they're going to be off to the races. Hartman getting a little bit of connection issues there as we see his car bouncing across the track. But yeah, Chilmo's strategy, putting on the softs early on, that should let him put the mediums until the end of the race. He shouldn't lose too much time, but he's lost a lot of track positions doing that. He doesn't really take advantage of his new strategy. We have Yuri, who's parked the car in Sector 3. I think he's just waiting for these guys to go by so he doesn't pull out in front of them and distract them. We actually have another car. That's a Williams. Chris Can spinning out, losing his wing here. He probably got a little bit of curb on the inside. He's going to have to pit. So that's our first leader to pit, not the way he was expecting it to. And we have a safety car coming out right now. So Chris Can's actually in a prime position as he caused that safety car by crashing in the pit entry. And so he's going to get his wing change. That Toro Rosso behind him also getting very lucky. Is that Yuri who, or Ikovic is getting very lucky. So, and he's able to pit for the hard tires. Chris Can putting the hard tires on as well. So he gets his wing change. He comes out behind the Toro Rosso, so he only loses one position. And Catastrophic picking up a drive-through for speeding under safety car. He's not going to like that, as he has to serve that. Yeah, so they're going to last to the end, that's for sure. There's no question about these guys. Mediums might be able to last to the end at this point in the race, but that's still to see. Yeah, so yeah, they have their tires. They've pitted. They're going to be able to just gun down the track here. As soon as the safety car collects the leaders, they're going to be able to just drive, and they should be able to get a lot of these positions back. We have our top 3 pitting. So Fion, is he going to get held up by anybody? We're going to see. Gets out ahead of the Renault, so just barely. So Fion getting ahead of Jer. Vito pulling out behind them, so nobody getting held up out of our leaders in the pits here. And everybody pitting for a new set of tires. So these guys, they're putting the medium tires on. They think that's going to last to the end of the race. And so we're seeing a bit of a split in strategy here. Tommy on the softs. Yeah, Scar Logan, the only guy not to pit here. He's on 12-lap old medium tires.
I don't know about that one.
Oh.
I think I would have at least pitted for...
And Scar Logan's actually been disqualified from the session. He passed the safety car. No. So he passed the safety car and I guess not realizing he was the leader, and he's been disqualified from the session for not letting the safety car catch up, or I don't know what's happening right now, but Scar Logan's out, I think. The safety car has picked up Sophion. So safety car was working fine. Safety car went through, collected the leaders, but Scar Logan just blew right by it, and I think he got himself disqualified, but it's not showing up.
The safety car was in an interesting spot that it was kind of hard to see. It was on the side of the front, or of the second straightaway. The lights weren't on.
Yeah. But see, now I'm a little bit confused because Scar Logan is still showing up in the lead here. And I did get a little prompt that said Scar Logan disqualified on my screen.
Yeah.
But he's still racing and he's still there, and it still looks like he's in control of his car right now. By the way, Astunic Carter, Astunic wants you to increase your mic sensitivity just a little bit.
All right. But that's so weird. Why? I don't know. This is at first I definitely thought it was the safety car glitching again, but yeah, not sure what's gonna happen about this. What we're gonna have to do here.
This is very weird.
Scar Logan, did he get a prompt that he had been disqualified? That's the thing.
Well, if you get disqualified, the AI just takes over your car. There's no.
What I'm saying is, if it's glitching for him too, where he was shown that he's been disqualified, but he's still controlling it, should he still slow down and then you know, go to the back of the pack or do that drive-through.
I mean, he could just slow down and let the pack catch up to him.
Yeah. Because if he's going to catch back up to the back of this pack as the leader, he's going to have nearly a lap lead on the entire grid.
Yeah, but that wouldn't stand, so...
Very, very interesting, for sure.
Okay.
And he pit.
So...
1 lap after the safety car picked up everyone, so it's almost like it's a delayed reaction. But for right now, Sofian is the leader of the race.
So Sofian is the leader. Yeah, Scarlogan would have been the leader, but he went right by the safety car, and we got a disqualification problem. And I'm gonna open the race director here and see if it's there. And oh, but it's not. So it's not in my race director. So Scarlogan.
So Scarlogan has to slow down.
So well, he's got about a lap lead on everyone else right now.
But I was gonna say he should just pass all of these cars and go up in front of Sofian, which is.
But then he still have a lap.
Exactly what he's doing. But he'd have a lap lead, and there you go. I think he's finally realizing it. But you know, maybe not. No.
Okay, so this is very weird.
Seems like we've got something new every week that, you know, we don't see any other time.
Yeah, we'll try to get him into this party here. So sorry about the screen cutting out. We're gonna try to get him in here and just tell him like, hey, you're a lap ahead of everyone. Just stop and let the field catch up to you.
Nobody yet has made any contact. They get really, really close together. Sofian bunching the pack up. He is gone out of nowhere, leaves Jer in the dust.
Yeah, I'm still getting a yellow indicator here.
And we are now green.
But it looks like, yeah, we are going to be able to resume as normal. That was very weird. Scarlogan is in the lead still for us, but he's got a lap lead, so I don't think it's going to count. Yeah, Jer is going to be going for the move here. These guys don't care that Scarlogan says he's at the front. They're fighting like they're fighting for the win. I mean, they basically are, because I don't see I don't see the league upholding that result. Yeah, so I guess it's going to be between Sofian and Jer here. We're going to have to ignore a leader here for the rest of this Grand Prix. And that's going to make things very interesting, because they might, for a lot of these guys, they're going to get lapped by Scarlogan here, and their race is going to finish a lap earlier.
Yeah. This is insane. And it sucks for him though, because
actually Scarlogan spins here, or he's
no, he's slowing down on purpose.
Okay, I think he finally picked up. If he does let the field catch up to him, obviously then that is going to count as a valid victory. We got to work around the glitches here. We can't have everything, laid out like that. But Jared's going to go for it again around the outside this time. Sofian giving him the big squeeze. They're going to go for the switchback. And yet again, Jared not able to get the move done on the Red Bull. It seems like Red Bull's in that corner. They always end up ahead.
Look at this. Look at this pile of cars from 9th down to looks like 15th.
So we're going to tune in on these guys. This is going to be quite the action. Havoc, if you're watching the stream right now, then yes, it is in Bahrain tomorrow. That's a big crash. We have a lot of sideways cars in the back. Who caused that? I think that's Hartman, who's still on the side of the track here. We have a Toro Rosso as well. That's Yuri, who DNFs. He lost it down the main straight, it seems, so probably got a little bit of grass there. Cruz going to be looking down the inside of the Torosso in this corner. This is dangerous. Wheel to wheel in the corner here. Cruz going to run him out of room, and Ikovic is going to have to duck in behind that Alfa Romeo, and he's not even going to get DRS. He's not going to get a chance to do it again. It has not been reactivated since the safety car. We're getting penalties left and right. Here's Alex J speeding in the pit lane. He's coming in to get rid of these medium tires. Looks like he probably picked up some damage in that incident. Tommy on the soft tire is going to go next to Vito, going for the move on 4th place. He's going to get the move to stick for 4th place. He's bringing himself up to those higher positions. He is on the soft tires, though. He's going to have to pit soon. That position isn't going to stay, so he better get the hustle on, get closer to the guys ahead, make up as much ground as he can before he has to dive back into the pit lane. In the back here, we have UK Coxey looking down at Lorenzo, trying to get up into 9th. He doesn't want to be in that last point position, because not only do you get 1 point, but you're under fire from basically everyone behind you, who are all trying to slip into the top 10 here. But I don't think he's going to be able to get any close here. Lorenzo driving a very good Alfa Romeo here, and he's got his teammate behind Coxey, so he has every reason to kind of hold Coxey up and let Cruz get that last point position. I don't know if they're working together that way. Don't know if they're in a party. We have Hartman retires from the session as we get a yellow flag in Sector 2. We're going to ride our way up here. Got a VSC here. He is parked right down the middle of the straight. I think he hit the wall there because he's missing a wheel on that Williams, and that's the end of his race. That's our second DNF. Thankfully, we're only getting a virtual safety car, not a full safety car. Scar Logan, we said he was slowing down a little bit. Doesn't seem like he has.
Well, it was interesting, though, because I have the telemetry pulled up, and he was at half throttle, no ERS and lean mixture, but let some cars through, but he's right back on it again. I'm dying to know what it's like from his. What is he seeing? What is he being told? What is he told that he's been disqualified? Is he shown in the lead right now?
I mean, for what it's worth, his steering wheel says P1. At least it looks like it. It's very small there.
Wow, Jer on the outside of turn 1 on Sophion and gets DRS for good measure. That's going to help Tommy in 3rd place right now. Tommy's not going to get DRS, but he's going to get a little bit of slipstream. He closes a lot on the Red Bull. We will get DRS now down this back straight. Sophion under pressure now to lose 2 positions in a matter of 2 corners. Not going to get it done here, and now Jair trying to get a gap on these 2 while they battle.
Yeah, so Tommy already catching up. Yeah, I was sending a quick message to Scar Logan. I'm going to try to invite him to the party just so he sees it on his screen, because not everyone checks Discord during the race. He might not even hear it. But we're hopefully going to try to get the message to him that he has until the end of the race to let that field catch up. Because he got a free pit stop and he got a free lap out of this. So if he doesn't let that field catch up, we're not going to uphold this result. That's for sure.
He's not getting blue flags though. That's interesting. I'm looking at the lights on the track where they would be showing blue. There is no blue with the car number.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have to see at the end of this race. For now, though, Jer is our de facto leader, despite what it says on the side there. Tommy getting very, very close to Sophion, and they're both going to get DRS here down the back straight, both trying to close up to that Renault of Jer. That's Chris making a move on Joseph Cozy in the back, Cruz making a move on UK Coxey in the same corner. So big overtakes in the back here. As they're all getting close, and look, Joseph Cozy thinking about setting that racing point machine down the inside. Is that UK Coxey going straight through the corner there. I'm not sure what happened, but it looks like Cruz was involved.
Too.
And I just saw it at the top of the screen. That McLaren did not slow down at all. That may have been intentional from UK Coxey. That's definitely what it looked like at first, unless they got tangled up before the corner right at the braking point, because there was definitely no brake applied to that McLaren machine, as he went straight through the back, straight into the gravel trap. So not sure what happened there. We get another VSC, but it doesn't look like it's going to last very long. It's already resumed there.
Well, that's going to help Sophie in.
And Cruz is going to retire, and that's bad. That's big implications for the championships. He's in third right now, and he needed all the points he could get today. And we're going to have to look into that, because that's if that's as big of a contact as I thought it was, then that's it's not something we want in a serious league here. Hopefully someone in the chat can tell us what happened there. I'm going to quickly send a message to Cruz and see what was that all about.
And there was something that went completely under the radar. When the safety car came out, it was because of Chris Cam, who crashed trying to get into the pits. And luckily for him, the safety car came out. He was down nearly in last place. He's right back up to 7th place. So through all the commotion of Scar Logan being shown in the lead, whether he is or not, Chris Can's already made his way all the way back up into 7th after being the reason the safety car came out in the first place. And look at this 3-car battle for the lead. 2 drivers got DRS on Jer, but Jer is not having any of it. Sofian is closing.
Sofian getting very close.
Yeah, good defending there by Jer. He's going to maybe look for a switchback. He's going to tuck in, try and get as much slipstream as possible. Tommy's just waiting in the wings for either of them to make some contact. There goes Sofian around the outside. He's going to look at it, but Jer again, maybe a little bit of contact. He's going to stick it right down the inside. Good defending once again by the Renault driver.
That's great defending from Jared. Great racing from these two. They're going side by side through a bunch of corners very, very cleanly. We're going to be seeing both of these drivers in Tier 1 next year, and Tommy's making a very, very good case for himself right here. He's on the short list. I can tell you that much. He's on the short list for Tier 1. Vito as well getting a Tier 1 seat. So a lot of these front runners in Tier 2 are going to be at in that top tier next season. We're going to have a stacked grid, just looking at the kind of racing that these guys can provide week after week. I cannot wait to see it with a bunch of other similar competitors. And right now, look, even with Jared, I don't know if he's saving gas, if he's saving fuel. We're going to get the telemetry up on Jared right now, and it looks like he's pushing, to be honest. He has the same amount of ERS as these two guys behind him, so not exactly escaping with a lead like he thought he was gonna. He's definitely having to fight against the Red Bull and the Mercedes just to keep that lead, and it's not even just to keep it at a reasonable distance, but to keep it, because Sofian's putting a move in every second lap just about.
I think this is when Sofian really needs to conserve or save some ERS. You've got 3 really long straightaways that you need all the ERS you can get, and there's not really a good time to save, but the best time to save is definitely through Sector 2. Or
yeah, the end of Sector 2.
To the beginning of Sector 3, yeah.
Yeah, that's usually what I do. Is I would pop it into none to low-ish coming out of turn 5, and then just kind of ride that all the way to the start-finish straight, because that's basically the most you can save in a lap there without losing too much time.
Yeah, and as 30% right now for Sofian is probably enough to get him through these first.
Ooh, Jared getting a little bit on the grass there.
Yeah, probably enough. You know, you still want to have at least, I'd say, another 20% in the bag, just in case, you know, Jared makes a mistake and you have that ERS for the second sector to help even more.
Yeah, and so not getting much information from Cruz on what happened, but he did send a message going WTF, all spelled out. And so it looks like he was not quite happy with what happened there. And yeah, so apparently, yeah, so they were jostling for position a little bit. Looks like Coxey probably getting a little bit frustrated.
But if he didn't apply the brake at all, went straight to the farthest point.
Well, the speed that I saw him carry through the top of my TV Definitely was indicative of somebody who did not try to slow down. So,
that's unfortunate.
yeah.
Tommy into the pits.
So Tommy getting off those soft tires. He's going to put on mediums. At least he should, because
that's softs.
He put on another set of softs. 10 laps to the end, actually. I thought we had a little bit more race to go. That's a good strategy for Tommy. Oh, look at that on the screen. We see Lorenzo making a move on Joseph Cozy. Joseph Cozy is going to try to move in towards the inside, not realizing Tommy's there, and make a little bit of contact with Tommy's front wing. And it looks like that slowed him down just a little bit, but not enough. Tommy's going to be much, much quicker than that Alfa Romeo here, though, as he just guns it down the straight. Gets past Lorenzo, and yeah, with those soft tires and against 13-lap-old mediums, it's pretty obvious who's going to come out on top. So Fionn, though, look how close he's getting to Jer, and these guys not ready to quit. So Tommy dropped down to 7th. That gives us a 2-horse race at the front here, but boy, they are racing, and so Fionn just not able to, or Jer not able to escape the Red Bull. And this could be a battle to keep an eye out for until the end of this race.
Yeah, I'm waiting on a break from these two because I've been watching Scar Logan for the past couple of turns. He's stuck behind 2 racing points, getting blue flags now. He can't go anywhere. He's stuck. He's forced to stay behind those 2.
That's quite unfortunate for him. Yeah, but he is technically disqualified from this race. Yeah. So the fact he is still able to drive is kind of already surprising. I'm not sure how we're going to deal with this. But
and we still don't know who glitched. Did our thing glitch? Did he glitch? You know, we still need answers.
Yeah, and
final decision.
As for the safety car, we're gonna have to evaluate that. It boils down, though, he got an extra lap under safety car, and you can't do that, and he didn't give it up. So
yeah, that is true.
Yeah, not sure. Yeah, we're going to have to see this after the race. We're going to have to talk to the drivers involved and everything. But for now, Sophian, yeah, he's building up a move here. Look at how close he's getting, and he's going to be... Oh, Lorenzo's out, and we have a VSC right when Sophian was about to make his move. He was wing to wing with Jer, and the VSC comes out and just completely destroys any chance he had. He's been setting up that move for 3-4 laps already.
As soon as I saw the yellow flag, I was... Immediately, the first thing that popped into my mind was, don't do this to him. Don't tell me you're gonna force him to stick behind him for even longer. That's insane. That's so unfortunate because he had to be done.
He had it, and Jared was gonna have to fight very hard. He's probably breathing a big sigh of relief as the race gets back underway. DRS is re-enabled, and these cars are gonna get racing again. Jared trying to get a jump on Sophian, not working as that Red Bull just sticking like glue to the back of that yellow Renault car. He's going to get even closer here going in to the penultimate couple of corners, and you want to get it clean here. You want to get the best exit you can. It looks like he did get that, losing a tiny bit of time to the Renault, but they both got their ERS up. They both saved a bit of fuel under that VSC, and they're both going to be just going right back at it. Now, looking at what he did last time, is it did take him a couple of laps to build up enough momentum really to pass that Renault. So I'm not expecting a move just yet, but actually, if he gets a good exit like that every time, we might be able to see one sooner than we think.
He's got an incredible jump coming out of these corners, and it's just, I think that's what's really making it difficult. He's getting such a good exit on every single straightaway corner.
Yeah, and yeah, these two have been at it all day. Incredible race, just honestly, clean, hard racing. I tip my hat off to these two drivers today, and we're gonna have to see. No matter how this ends up, it's gonna be quite a thriller. As I look at how close Sophian is getting through these corners. And is he going to be a little bit closer? He's a little bit further this time around, but he has more, he always has more speed getting towards the end of that straight, and he should be able to make the move on this one. Yeah, this is it. And Sophian's going to get closer. He's going to go around the same way as the last 2 times, around the outside there, wheel to wheel in turn 3, and Jared's going to force him just a little bit on the curbs, but Sophian's going to fight back. He's right on the back of the Renault on the back straight. He doesn't have DRS. I think Jared ended up with DRS because I don't see any little flip, or maybe his DRS isn't working anymore. I'm not sure what's happening there, but he's going to lose time. He's not going to be able to make the move stick, and he's going to have to go back into saving mode and get some ERS back. So once again, Jared just defending that inside line, and that's all that's working for him because that's all he needs to do. He sits down the inside, and Sophian just has to take the long way around, and he's just unfortunately not able to. And he's gonna give it another go here. I keep getting pings on my Discord. Sorry if you guys have to hear that in the background.
Yeah, he's at 3/10 now going into turn 1. And we'll see the gap. It's like a decent exit. Don't think he's going to be able to get it done on this straightaway. And even with Slipstream DRS, JR still holding his own. Sogan's going to go a little deep. Actually, he corrected it very,
so he's going to get DRS here. So I think Jared got DRS last time, but maybe didn't realize he had it because he was in front.
No,
and
Sophian had it. The yellow icon was blinking, waiting for him to open it.
Okay, yeah, so for me it wasn't. I didn't get an icon like that on him, so it must have been very, very close. The detection point is in the braking zone, and these guys were neck and neck, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they were tied through the detection zone. The game went, all right, well, nobody gets it. So Sophian going a little bit wide there. That's going to let Jared kind of step away. This is where he shines, though. He's always able to just close in so much time in these 2 corners. Look at that. The gap goes from half a second to 3/10, and it's going to hop back to about half a second in this corner every lap. Every lap, Jared just gets a much better exit on the last corner there, and then Sophian just gets it all back right here into turn 1, and sets himself up for a good front straight. But looks like that's not the case here. He's actually losing even more time. So I'm not sure if this is maybe just a case of pushing the tires too hard, or if he's saving a little bit more because he wasn't. Yeah, look at that. So actually, I think Sophian is just saving ERS here. He's not pushing as hard as he needs to. He's on a high mix here in the straightaways. He's not going all out because he wants to make sure that when he gets the move, he makes it stick. There's 4 laps left, and if he gets the move done but has nothing to defend with, then Jared's going to take that position back.
Yeah, and the gap compared at this point compared to the last lap is much closer. I mean, look at how close it's now. 29 hundredths. This time last time it was about 4/10. And but this is where Sophian quickly gains so much time and then loses it. And yeah, he's much further back than last lap. I wouldn't be surprised if he's trying to, just save for a last or a 2-lap charge right back at Jared. But he's got to stay in DRS. Like that is very crucial that he stays in DRS, because the moment that Jared escapes that 1 second barrier, I don't think there's any coming back for Sophian.
No, absolutely not. And Sophian is saving a little bit more than Jer is right now, but Jer has that. Goes very, very deep on that corner. That's going to cost him some time, but not too much, thankfully. He's already back on the DRS. He's already back on it. He's going to pop into overtake. He's going to have to use that energy just to stay close to Jer here, and just making a little bit of a mistake here late in the race. The tires are getting worn. The rubber is just worn off those medium compound tires. 20 laps old for the both of them. Vito as well, who should get a shout out, just keeping up with them in the back here on that same set of tires. And looks like we've forgotten all about the rest of this field, because this is where the action is here. Our 2 leaders battling it out for the win. Scar Logan is going to be coming across first, but as we hop onto lap 34 here, these 2 are the ones battling for that top trophy. Jer and Sophian getting
both
that's
get penalties.
Yeah, Sophian picking up a penalty. Haven't seen much of that from him this race. Haven't seen his name pop up.
Too.
I think did they both get one?
Yeah, back to back.
Well, that evens out then.
Place, which is interesting.
Yeah. probably just a case of Sophion trying to follow Jer as much as possible, just trying not to lose any time. Sometimes they're following a guy ahead of you, and you kind of get you get laser focused on where he's going. And look how close he's getting. Jer not getting as much of a turn of an apex as he wanted out of that turn. They're both saving right now. And
he's down to 25%.
He's got it on one. He's only has 2 laps left, so he should be saving here if he wants to try to make a move in the last lap. But the last lap might be too late.
It should be 0 right now, not 3.
And look how close he's getting here to the Renault, and we're getting on to the penultimate lap as these guys have not given up yet. What is his angle? I don't want to see his mirror. I want to see the action. And Jer getting a good exit. Sophion getting a better one. And look, he's back within half a second here. He's in that DRS danger zone where he can close up very, very rapidly. And he's going to look wide. He's going to go for a very, very tight turn in here. Watch the wheel spin on the exit. You don't want to get any of that. He's half a second behind Jer. And he's got 9% ERS here. He's laying it all on the line. Thinking about it again, and not able to do it. He's going to have 2 more shots here. I don't think he's going to be able to make it into turn 1 because Jerry always gets a better exit there, but he's going to have the main straight and the back straight to do it. He just has to stay close, save that ERS, and go for it, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Jer has an almost 3/4 full battery. Jer has 65% ERS, so if Sophion makes a move stick, Jer is going to be all over him on hot lap trying to pass it. But Sophion getting so close to that Renault. It must be so frustrating for him to still be stuck behind him there. And Jer's going to put it into overtake mode. I think this is going to be it for the Red Bull. He gave it his all. That was such a good fight between these two, going wheel to wheel over and over and over again through this Austrian Grand Prix. And he's going to think about it again, but nowhere close. And Jer's going to survive this onslaught unless he makes a mistake here in the dying stages. And Scar Logan is coming across the line right now. He's going to take the on-track W, but don't think it's going to stick. We did get a disqualification notification earlier this race. He did overtake the safety car and get a free lap out of it, basically. So that leaves Jer here, who we're following on the TV cam, on the helicopter cam here. He's coming across the penultimate corner around the end of Sector 3, and he's going to pick up the Austrian Grand Prix victory as there he goes across the line. Sophion is going to come across right behind him. Penalties not going to play a role in this race. Vito is going to take third place in the Ferrari. So overall, these two, Sophion and Vito, helping their championship odds. Tommy, who's near the top of the standings as well, getting a good boost of points. The Deck and Chris Can, probably not as many as they were hoping for. Chris Can is going to have a lot of work to do next week to defend that lead. But that's the end of our Austrian Grand Prix. We had some good action here. A bit of drama at the start and a bit of drama in the middle, and some questionable safety car antics, which is nothing new to this game. But Scar Logan gets the on-track win. We're going to have to see if it holds. If it does, then that's a healthy 25 points to the Renault driver in a Renault 1-2. But that was quite the crazy race. What are your thoughts on this, Carter?
I just want to know, what was Scar Logan being shown on his screen?
Yeah,
it's killing. I want to know so bad, because if he was shown that he's disqualified and yet still kept going, then it's a different story to where, he's being told he's in the lead and good to go.
Yeah, we're going to have to look at that, because ultimately it is unfair to all the other drivers, because he was a lap ahead and they never got a chance to catch up, which is what the safety car is supposed to do, and he got a free pit stop out of it. So ultimately, we're going to have to look at that. But Jer, Sophion, Vito, that's our unofficial top 3. Tommy, Chris, and the Deck. 5th, 6th, and 7th. Spoon, Bryce, and Chilmo rounding out the top 10, but a lot of people getting lapped here on this very, very short Austrian Grand Prix circuit. I've been ISRL Knight, ISRL Carter in the booth with me. Thank you all for tuning in to the ISRL Tier 2 Austrian Grand Prix. We're going to be back tomorrow. Tier 3 does Bahrain, Tier 1 as well on Austria. Another dynamic weather race here for Tier 1, and both tiers getting to the end of their seasons. Everything heating up here. Tempers flaring high. Lots of good battles. Lots of good action. Carter, anything you want to say before we stop the stream?
You said it all, my friend. Cannot wait for tomorrow.
Absolutely. Hope to see everyone in there. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to like our Facebook page to not miss any news. Subscribe to our channel to not miss any videos. We are going to be uploading much, much more in Season 2. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much for tuning in. And have a good time.